welcome to the sanctuary where good pods happened. It is, I said happened.
It's because we peaked weeks ago. Yeah, what just happened to you? I don't know.
Yeah. Welcome to the sanctuary where good pods happen.
Yeah.
Present tense. They are happening now.
Are they? Yeah, I think so. I think we're having a fun time.
It's me. It's PD. It's Jonathan. It's Chase.
It's that CHASE.
That's right. It's basically, I mean, all of us on a remote recording. It's season 47 all over again, guys.
Wow. This used to be the main pod.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah. This is a good time. And I love that we're all talking over each other again. Mostly me. I'm talking over y'all again.
All it takes is for the professional podcaster to not be here, and we just immediately fall back to bad habits.
If you guys want to know how much Bran has done for this show, go listen to our old season.
Yeah, it's almost like we know what we're doing or something now. No. Or at least make it sound that way.
So we're here to talk about Survivor, as we normally are. But, guys, I set it up that way for a reason. There's somebody in the CBS family who went to space. GAYLE King went to space, everybody.
Oh, dude. Didn't Katy Perry also go to space?
Yep, they were both in there together.
Who's GAYLE King?
GAYLE King is the CBS morning show person.
Oh, wow. What about Jeff? Let's get Jeff in space. Survivor in space.
Hey, Jeff has important stuff to do. I don't know.
And GAYLE King doesn't?
Well, she's on the morning show. Jeff is doing 2 seasons of Survivor a year, I think.
He does 2 months of work a year.
No, it's all year round. He's pitching ideas to Tyler
Chase,
Perry.
just think about how crazy it would be for Jeff to go from Fiji, where it's daytime all the time, to space, where it's nighttime all the time.
Shut up.
That would blow Jeff's mind. And hey, guys, before we keep going, I've got a little bit of audio from GAYLE right after she touched Earth again.
What?
It's very difficult because you're floating, but the best part was when we got back in our seats after 0 G's, Katie sang "What a Wonderful World."
She did?
Isn't that nice?
Oh, come on.
She sang "What a Wonderful World." I see dreams. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Because we've been asking her to sing all the time, and she wouldn't. And then, because everybody said, sing roar, sing fireworks, and she said, it's not about me. I wanted to talk about the world.
Wow.
You know, isn't that nice? You got to ask her about that.
Got to ask her about it.
She was probably scared to sing in front of people after that last album she put out, you know?
Hey, ladies. This is not a Katy Perry hate cast. I love her husband, Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
They're still together?
What do you mean?
I don't know her.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so they're not married. They had to postpone their wedding.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Because
How
of
does that
COVID.
make you feel?
Because of COVID.
Wait.
They're still together.
COVID.
Wait.
They're still together.
It's still postponed?
You talk about GAYLE King in space, but you don't know about Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry's marriage?
I know about GAYLE King in space because I was watching Survivor, and they showed an ad for GAYLE Goes to Space.
Now, they have a 4-year-old daughter together.
I knew this, but now when you said GAYLE King, my first thought was Gail Lewis, like Walmart Gail Lewis at first. And I was like, they sent Gail Lewis to space?
They should have, man.
It's like Gail Lewis
wouldn't have said that whack-ass.
Yeah.
We wanted Katy Perry to sing Roar.
If Katy Perry sang to you in space, you wouldn't be moved?
First of all, if we touched down on Earth and anyone started singing "What a Beautiful World," if it wasn't Louis Armstrong himself, I would have told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's
well.
What
First
I
of all,
said.
she sang that in space and not down on Earth. That's why it was so monumental.
She said when we touched down from being in the G's, from 0 G's,
being in the G's.
In the G's. All right, maybe I have it twisted, but here's the thing. Katie didn't want to make it about her. She wanted it to be about the world. So
Petey, when was the last time you were in the G's?
I like how they're talking. Everyone talking as if they just landed on the moon and they won the space race for the United States. They went and visited space for a few seconds.
I try to come on here and celebrate GAYLE, but it is what it is.
Let's talk about Survivor. Jesus.
Yeah, this is the sanctuary where good pods happen, everybody. And we're going to be talking some Survivor. All right.
I can't stop laughing. I'm like, it could be because it's a late one or whatever, but I feel like I'm just
this is what happens.
I'm hallucinating.
You know what? No editing today. just gonna hit upload.
Yeah,
and y'all get what you get. Yeah,
we get what we get. You're the one that started the show.
I mean the fans.
They're gonna get a tight 5 about Katy Perry in space.
The fans are they're gonna email us. We're gonna get 20 emails saying, "PD, I commend you for giving GAYLE a shout out." Anyway, we have some Survivor stuff to get to. Chase, there was a very interesting Twitter interaction that took place.
Yes, there was.
Would you like to bring that up? It involves somebody who lives in the vicinity of one Jonathan Wright.
I thought you were also going to say it lives in the vicinity of space, and it was going to be about GAYLE or something.
He does, man. He does live in the vicinity of space. So Johnny Fairplay, Survivor legend, all around bad guy, tweeted out that dog shit performance deserved a spot on hashtag Survivor 50, and I believe he was talking about Say.
Dude,
is that the case, PD?
I believe, yeah, I think so. He didn't make he didn't make it clear, but I think it was Say.
Shauhin from this season, who is on Brand's team, and potentially the winner of the season, I might add, Shauhin responds almost immediately. I don't know, man. Maybe shut the fuck up.
Get him, Shauhin.
It is. I appreciate the bluntness because Johnny Fairplay, he needs it, you know?
Listen, a lot of people dislike Johnny Fairplay. The wrestling fan in me appreciates his heel work. And I know that he's doing heel work because he's a big wrestling fan. Ended up doing some manager work for TNA after his time on Survivor. Johnny Fairplay responds to Shauhin and says, "I was rooting for this guy?" To which Shauhin says, "Stop rooting for me. Thanks. I don't take well to folks calling things dog shit." So then Johnny Fairplay says, "Hey, wasn't referring to the person, just the performance."
Cop out.
Yeah,
cop out for sure. Cop out for sure.
He got called on it.
Shauhin then goes, "I'm protective, all love." I don't think it is all love, Shauhin.
No. And that's what I would say to Shauhin. Hey, take off the all love. Say all hate. Because it's towards Johnny Fairplay. It's okay.
Can you imagine getting a message from someone and it ends with all hate?
I'm going to start doing that to Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm just protective, man.
Hey, a little peek behind the curtain in our Survivor group chat, like our Making the Merge group chat. Today, at one point, I just said that I hated Jonathan and Kristen. No offense. Out of nowhere, for no reason.
And PD and I texted at the same time, one being PD said, "So Jonathan won't be able to record." And right away, he was met with a message that said, "I can record," because we sent them at the same time. And then he said, "I stand corrected." You know, it's just I don't know why I gave that detail. No editing, though. Leave it in.
No editing.
Hey, can we get an edit on that? Can we get an edit on that?
Absolutely.
You can leave in all of the space stuff, but can we get an edit on that?
So, Jonathan, what is your reaction? What is your take on Shauhin versus Fairplay?
I feel so unsurprised by him. Now, this is just, he is part of the local lore of where we are. And
Danville.
Danville, Virginia. He is just part of the local lore, and whether we want him to be or not. Now,
and
this is the guy. Right? I personally don't want him part of the local lore. Now, I've heard many people having many interactions with this man. I have also had interactions with this guy, but he didn't know that I had interaction with him. He thought I should have known who he was, and I pretended like I didn't, and I could tell it really bothered him.
It's Johnny Fairplay, reality TV icon and Survivor Hall of Famer. And I was talking to Elizabeth Carpenter the other day, and Elizabeth says, "Johnny Fairplay, you know what's coming up?" And I'm like, "Yep." And Elizabeth goes, "How do you know?" I go, "Because I'm the greatest survivor of all time." Sure didn't win the $1 million. Sure I don't have the title Soul Survivor. But my grandma says I'm the best, therefore I'm the best. So what's this big day? What's this momentous occasion? Well, it's Valentine's Day, of course. The day of love. Chase, are you paying attention? That's right, Chase. I'm talking to you. Now, I know that you're a former pro wrestler, now actor.
What is going on?
Guys,
what is
you
going
got
on?
a cameo from Johnny Fairplay?
What is going on?
Yeah, I did. And I just thought you guys should know about it.
That's beautiful. Here's the thing about him, though. There's a reason that he still is talked about. He knows what he's doing. But this is also the guy who drives around with a license plate that says "Dead G-Ma" around town.
And now, I bet the day that she actually died, looking at that plate sucked.
Oh yeah,
it
no, I
was
bet
it was
a
like
lot,
last
man.
year that she died too. It was like
Yeah.
But how do I feel hearing the tweets? I feel unsurprised by this man.
Well,
I don't
hey,
know what else to say.
So we had Shauhin versus Fairplay, and then Say comes off the top rope.
Oh, I didn't even see this.
She says, "If you don't get your washed-up cornball ass out of here."
Nice.
And then somebody replied, "These hoochies are really obsessed. Clock it, queen." And then she said, "Obsessed, and it's getting weird."
Oh, dude.
Dang. Yeah, here's the thing. I think Johnny Fairplay has a long history of harassing people online.
Yeah.
So even though what he said probably wasn't the worst thing in the world, it just comes across poorly.
But it is when you are a former survivor of that status
Yeah.
to be disparaging other people like that.
100%.
Did y'all ever know about, though, like Johnny Fairplay's most embarrassing moment that was like a really big deal for him? He hated it happened. But he
No.
basically it was like at an award show of some sort, like kind of wash up award show, because it was Danny Bonaducci there or whatever his name is from the Partridge Family. Anyway, Johnny Fairplay jumps on his back on the stage, and Danny flips him and throws him to the ground, and he broke his teeth.
Oh.
And he was very embarrassed by this. And sometimes I think about that video when I think about Johnny Fairplay, and it makes me wish that the time I met him and he was like acting like, "Oh, you should know who I am," that I was like, "Wait, aren't you the guy that Danny threw at that award show?"
Oh,
And that-
you would have ruined his week.
that would have been a wild one. But I
You
gotta be
should have
careful.
known
He'll
who
hunt
Johnny
me down.
Fairplay is, man. You're not our true Survivor fan at all.
There is a part of me that likes Johnny Fairplay. I will say there is a part of me that enjoys what he brings to the table.
In all
He's a
seriousness, I think he's had a long history of addiction issues.
Yeah.
And that's caused a lot of disparaging moments in his life. So I don't want to be too harsh, but from what I understand, he's also done some things that are probably unexcusable and unforgivable.
yeah.
So it's
Well-
weird because... What?
I was just going to say, he is into pro wrestling, so those are just bad people in general. I say that as a almost lifelong wrestling fan. Not good people.
I love
Yeah.
that. Wait, it felt like what you were saying was you said he's in pro wrestling, but it felt like you were saying the fans of pro wrestling weren't good people.
Hey, that also.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
Like-
When I was a wrestler, when I was wrestling actively, there was nothing I hated more than pro wrestling fans. Okay, what's next on the
Yeah.
agenda, fellas?
Well, I do just want to say to Shauhin before we move on, maybe you and Say don't respond to him at all, because the only reason we're bringing him up right now is because you guys made him relevant.
That's
he
very true.
thrives off of that.
If he had just tweeted this and you guys didn't say anything, it would not be news.
I wouldn't have seen it.
I do
Yeah.
think just my last words on Johnny Fairplay here, and this is more of a blanket statement. We talked about this a little bit in the group chat where I was like, "Oh, if I were to join Survivor, the thing that I think would be that I don't want to happen would be like you're known as the person who was on Survivor the rest of your life." And some people like really cling to that, and it feels like they just will do anything to stay in the Survivor spotlight. And I think that Johnny kind of comes across that way. I kind of feel bad for him because it's like, just reaching for this fame, and now it's like, let me trash someone through Twitter, and then he immediately backs out as soon as he's confronted on it. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think Johnny Fairplay, I don't know if he still does it, but he was doing recaps at one point, and I think numbers-wise, we're killing him.
Dang. Yeah. Fair game, is what I say.
Fair play?
Yeah.
Fair play. That's a great way to end this
Yeah,
segment.
that will finally wrap up Johnny Fairplay talk. I wanted to bring something up that was an idea that I had. I want the loser of the draft to have to read a transcript of every Banu confessional, like 30 seconds to a minute at a time, until like 7 podcasts later, they've worked through the whole thing.
Oh, that's
fun.
actually
That's fun.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
I think that's fun. I'll start practicing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say that's the punishment
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the
that's
loser.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
All right, so whoever loses has to pray that Randon goes home from a medevac.
Oh man,
I do that anyway, dude.
every season. We haven't seen Randon again, so thanks, Chase.
Yeah, Banu's prayers kept him from returning too.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
Please do not let Randon return for season 50.
Yeah. So guys, we're just a few hoochies, right?
Yeah. We're obsessed with Say.
We're just three hoochies, and we're three hoochies who are going to react to Say's exit press.
Let's hear it.
So this is from Dalton Ross. Dalton Ross did an interview, and he said, "You were so calm and composed when you got voted out. I wanted to see some fireworks. I wanted some death stares. What happened?" She said, "I know. And that is why I didn't do it. I was not about to let these hoochie mamas see me go out bad. I was like, okay, I'm resolved. You know, I've had my name written down on every single tribal council. This is a cakewalk for me. And if you think I'm about to flip you off, you just know that it's happening in my head, but it's not going to happen in real life. I really wanted to go out the way I came in, with my head held high, and I'm very proud of the way I handled myself, because the old me, maybe high school version of me, would have gone out like that. And I know a lot of people were expecting me to be very enraged, but I'm not."
Wow, I kind of love that.
Yeah. I like Say. I like Say a lot. I'm on the Say train, dude.
It'd be cool to see her in 50 after losing a season.
Yeah, no matter what Johnny Fairplay says.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she was asked, how hard was it to get voted out one spot before the jury? Because that may be the toughest spot to go all season. She said it was awful. I know a lot of people say I'm so grateful to have played. Love that for you. But I really went to go play and win. That was the reason. And honestly, I don't think I would have been happy on the jury, because I would have been helping somebody else win the money. I would have been a bitter juror. It would have never worked out for any of them. I would have gone in there and voted for Jeff to win the money. I would have never voted for any of these people, and they would have had to have been like, somebody voted for Jeff. Please go back and try again. And we would have been there all night. No way was I going to let any of y'all win. So
That's hilarious.
That's really funny.
I really wish she had made jury instead of Cedric.
Oh,
now.
100%. 100%.
I can't believe Cedric's on jury. I forgot.
Dude, he's
about
going to be the one that's in charge of like picking who wins.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? He's going to get to the end, and they're going to be like, we have one vote this person, one vote this person, and one vote Justin. And then he's like, who did this?
He's going to vote for himself.
Revote, and then he's going to write down Justin again. It's just going to be the Jeff problem with Say.
I can just see Cedric. They do those interviews where they have all of the people on the jury, and they all give some pull quote, and Cedric is just going to be like, well, you know, these people all played great games, and one of them is going to win. And that's going to be it.
It's like Purd from
Yes.
What is, why can't I think of it?
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, yeah. Where he's just saying things. He's like, and now I'm back sitting at my desk once again. Back to you. You know, it's just like going to be the most basic sentences.
But speaking of Cedric, she was asked about Cedric. Dalton said, you and Cedric had quite the rocky road over the course of the season. Now, having watched everything back, what do you make of all that? And she said, I would not have had the same game if Cedric were not there being my messy mate. He allowed me to be me and never wanted to change me or tell me to tone it down. He just adapted. He was like, okay, I know who she is. She's shown me what she is, and I'm willing to accept that. And so it gave me even more permission to just ball out and go all out and do all the things and know that I would have somebody who would back me no matter what. I mean, are you surprised by that?
That's really sweet. I feel like, again, Chase, I like the fact that you call them characters sometimes because it really is the edit and kind of like seeing people sometimes in their worst mode and kind of playing to a camera. Say seemed super sweet. She seemed really cool, like in her like intro interviews and stuff that we watched and everything. And in this, she comes across as just like a person who intensely loves the game. Yeah. And really nice. So
yeah.
I'm
100%. I try to remember that it's all a TV show, because I know if I was on there, I'd probably be the most hated player of all time.
You think so? You think you'd get that edit?
I know I would get that edit because I get that edit in this show.
I pray I wouldn't get the Banu edit.
Yeah.
You would get the Brandon first boot couldn't climb the ladder edit.
Anyway, so you know how people hate the honest and integrity stuff, right?
Yes, they do.
They really hate it. She said 100%. I would have been rolling my eyes the entire time. If I heard honesty and integrity, I would have thrown up. I would have been begging somebody for a barf bag because there's no way that we were on Survivor and you're talking about honesty and integrity.
Yeah.
I think it adds a fun dynamic to the game this season. I like the idea that there's this team of people being like, we're going to play with integrity. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun dynamic because Camilla and Kyle are going to backstab them.
Yes, and that's what everybody freaking out doesn't realize. It's not going to last another couple weeks.
No, and if it does, that's even more impressive.
Well, it's like, I don't know why people watch Survivor, sign up to play, and go in with that mentality, because I'm like, you've watched the show. You have to eventually.
I don't know. I think maybe it's like lying. When you watch Survivor, lying is so normal, and it's what you do until it happens to you. And then you become Mitch, where Mitch has been watching since Amazon or whatever. He might have been watching the whole run of the show, and then he gets lied to, and he's devastated for a whole day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would obviously feel way different playing the game and having it happen to you, because I feel like everybody goes in, they're all kind of united under this idea of how exciting it is to play Survivor. We love Survivor, we're gonna kill it, and then you suddenly feel like the idiot. It's more of like it hurts your pride more than it hurts your feelings.
And then you're the idiot on national TV for like 5 million people.
Yeah, no big deal.
I think that's it for the Say Exit Press.
That's all you have to say.
That's all I have to say. So, for my last segment here, we're going to call this the Shot in the Dark Challenge.
Ooh.
Okay? Ooh. So the three of us and Bran sent in his. We're all going to give our predictions. We're going to get out our crystal balls. Yeah. And we're gonna say what our prediction is, and if any of the other hosts disagree, I guess Bran can't participate in this part. But if any of the other ones
but we
disagree,
can chime in.
Yeah. Then we'll say, no, that's not going to happen. We'll revisit this in 5 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. What are the stakes? What are we betting?
I didn't think about that part. Maybe I should have.
We need to come up with something. Maybe not money. Let's do something a little bit more fun. What if we did something on the social media?
Yeah, good one.
We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it.
I'll think
Let's
about it.
Let's workshop it the next 30 minutes, guys. That would be
okay. How about a graphic that says you have won the Shot in the Dark Challenge for season 48, 2025 Survivor CBS.
Okay, maybe no. I think you're onto something. Instead of a graphic, like if you win, we'll post a bunch of graphics of what all the bets are, and we'll keep track of them for the next few weeks.
I like that. Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
we'll figure out what the reward is or whatever.
Yeah, let's hear them, dude.
All right, who wants to get into it first? Should we do Bran's first?
Yeah, let's hear Bran's first, since he's not here to defend himself.
Okay. So Bran's first one. Bran actually did 5. I think this is what happened on the other thing that we did, where we said, "Hey, Bran, give us 3 things." He gave us 5 anyway. Should I include all 5 just for fun?
I did 6. I thought I was supposed to do 6.
I just said 3.
Why did I guess all 6, dude? Now I gotta
hey, man, I did 15. Is that too many?
I did 3.
I also did 3.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna go back.
Okay, go look at the text. I swear I told everybody 3.
Okay. Oh, I said that.
So for Bran's bets, the first one, David will flex more than 5 times.
More than 5?
Yeah.
How many episodes we got left?
We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 36 episodes left.
So he's gonna have to flex almost once an episode.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I don't know. I think that's too many times. I agree.
I don't think the editors will let it happen.
Yeah, so the exact wording was...
He's not going to make it that many episodes.
Yeah, the exact wording was David will flex his muscles 5 times before getting voted off.
I think 5 is too many. Yeah. I think a more conservative number is 2 or 3.
And so we're all going to take him on it.
Yeah, we're going under.
Yeah.
All right, Bran, we're all coming for you. So the next one, this is a fun one. Jeff is going to pause for 7 seconds before reading the votes for the final tribal.
7 seconds. So
is
does
it-
that mean...
Before reading the winner's name, actually. So Jeff will pause 7 seconds before reading the winner's name at the final tribal.
So it'll be like...
I think he's close.
It'll be like Mary, Mitch, Mary, Mitch, Mary, Mitch, and the winner of Survivor 48.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
7 is
3
crazy.
Mississippi.
I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah,
Now
that's
that
a
we
lot.
think about it. That would be the
How
most
about this?
dramatic pause.
I'll make a pitch. I think they do a commercial break.
That would be a
Whoa.
big pause. Would
don't
that count
know.
as
That's a big
That
pause.
wouldn't count as a pause because they wouldn't be on it.
Yeah.
But
Do they pause in real life? when the commercials-
wait. And the winner is BK. Have it your way.
you rule.
It's Say.
Yeah, I'm like, that can't even hear that commercial anymore.
You have no idea, dude. I would be watching 3 football games at the same time, and they would play the
3
ad
BK
every
commercials?
single break. So oftentimes, 2 TVs would be playing it simultaneously.
I love thinking about you, like, just in your house with a very dissonant BK song playing because it's 3 of them at the same time, a little offset. He's been haunted by the king, you know?
Look, if Jeff actually looked out and paused for 7 seconds, how baller would that be? Because that's such a
That would
long
be wild.
pause.
I
For
might
him
be
to just hold
frustrated.
the vote and just stare dead into the camera. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
take.
taking the under on that.
Yeah, I'm
too.
taking. I'm
Yeah,
taking Brand on this bet. It will not be 7 seconds. So the next one, he says that fire making is going to last 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
I think it's going to be more than that. Does that mean? Okay, clarify this if you can, because Brand's not here. Total or edit time?
Well, I think they tell you the elapsed time.
Right.
In
Or does
the
he just mean
edit?
like we will see 6 minutes of
I
it?
think he means the actual challenge itself because he didn't specify.
It's going to be way more than that. It's going to be way more than that. They usually go for like 20 minutes, I think.
Okay, so I guess we're going to be taking Bran on all of these. That's 3 that
What
we
do you think,
disagree with
Jonathan?
Bran on.
I feel like all of us are kind of in sync with that, you know?
Yeah. I think last year was almost an hour, right?
Yeah.
Was it? Oh yeah, because
they
both
couldn't get
struggled
the-
for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's way too quick.
Yeah, that was the only good part of the finale, other than Rachel winning.
Heck yeah.
Also, I'm realizing as I was hearing it and I reread that text, because once again, I'm half asleep, is that some of my bets were just bets. They were just predictions. They weren't like over-under type
Well, they don't
style.
have to be.
great.
I also do just kind of bets
Yeah.
as
Oh,
well.
okay.
But also, how many podcast episodes are you gonna be like, guys, I'm so tired? Our listeners are gonna be like, hey, can this take a nap?
Hey, fun fact. Okay, I took a nap today. All right, I wake up.
Great.
Wake up at 5 p.m. I get out of bed. I brush my teeth, and I'm like, "What am I doing?" Because it's freaking 5 in the afternoon.
So let's okay. Just shut up, Jonathan. Let's roll through.
Hey, cut that. Cut
that. Let's roll through the final 2 of Bran's predictions.
Yeah.
His shots in the dark. He says that milk will be brought up 2 more times.
I agree with him on
I
this
think
one.
that's a
Yeah,
solid
I'm not
guess.
going to challenge that one. And then he says Chrissy will win an immunity challenge.
But I think
yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Totally.
She's got it in her. Chrissy is winning.
I don't know. Is she, though? What if we do the rest of the podcast as robots, as the Chrissy bots?
I really appreciate what Brand has brought to the podcast.
Chrissy is speaking. All right, Jonathan, let's get into your bets.
Okay.
Your shots in the dark.
So, my first one is that Eva will betray a girls' alliance.
I'm not gonna take you on that. I'm not.
No, she would have to be in one.
No,
She would have to be in
I
one.
think she will end up in an all-girls alliance, and that she will then backstab it.
Eva?
Yeah,
Wait, you
She's
think
not
she
leaving.
will-
She's not leaving Joe, dude.
Yeah,
I think that she will be brought into one, and then immediately betray it. You see what I'm saying?
I challenge you on the fact that
Yeah.
she will get in one in the first place. So yeah, I'm
right.
taking
Okay,
you
okay.
on
Not
that.
happening. I'll take you as well.
All right, my second one is that we won't. This was a risky one, but I'd love to see it happen. Is that we won't have a 0-vote finalist?
That would be cool. You know what? I agree with you.
I
think
actually
that we have
had
a lot
that.
of players that are good.
I had that one written down.
Did
So
you?
I have to,
Wow.
yeah, I have to come up with a
And
new
I
one.
agree with it. Okay.
Yeah,
Look,
so-
now look who's stupid now. You know. But so there will be one Plinko style wall in a challenge.
I would not.
think that's a
want
great
to-
one.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to bet against that one.
Wow,
That's
guys.
great, dude. What a
Thank
great
you.
one.
I feel one person will get sick on their stomach this season. Like
Yeah,
they'll
I think
have
that's
some sort of
also-
stomach issue.
I think that's solid as well.
Yeah, somebody's gonna have a bad time at the sanctuary.
Something's going to happen to somebody. Maybe it's all the milk.
It could be, man.
Yeah.
They've been pushing milk, dude.
This one's a little risky, but I think you ready for this? That Cedric will wear a peach-colored shirt in jury at some point.
Okay,
Dude, I agree with you on this one too.
I'll take you on it.
I think an orangish peach color is might be Cedric's color, dude.
That's a baller one, man. I agree with you. I can envision it right now.
And then you ready for my last one?
Yeah.
Chrissy will be picked to get a letter from a loved one. She won't win the challenge, but she will get picked.
Whoa.
That
Dude.
is specific.
I'll agree with you on that one too. What a great you had a great batch, dude.
I'll take you on it. You suck, Jonathan.
They can't all be winners. I felt very strong about my choices in this list.
Yeah, it
right
felt
here,
good,
guys.
man. I really liked those.
Wow.
PD, let's hear your two because Jonathan took one.
Okay. So, look, I'm going to start off with Dark PD, okay?
Ooh.
Dark PD's come out to say there will be one medevac.
I'm going to take you on that. I don't think we'll get one this season.
I also had this one written down. I had, except I had it was a slightly different, so I'll go ahead and say it. I said we'll get one medevac or quit before the end of the season.
My next one was there will not be a 0-vote finalist this year.
Nice.
Shout out to you, Jonathan, or whatever. Shout out to GAYLE, all that.
And you know what? Shout out to my girl GAYLE King, who was in space.
Who went to space, baby.
Shout out to Gail Lewis too. You know?
Space was never the same after GAYLE went there. So my next one, someone will say something that makes Jeff visibly annoyed.
That's a great one, dude.
Yeah, that's good. I think it'll happen. He's really good at sometimes putting on a face where you can't quite tell.
He's
But
been
every
getting
now and
sassy
then,
with them this
he's a little
season, though. I
sassier,
think it's because
yeah.
he's comfortable.
Yeah. You don't want to let Jeff get too comfortable now.
No.
That's
Oh,
when he gets out the
brother.
knife and stabs the rice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember the first time he did that?
Yeah.
We were all
They treated it like he stabbed a person.
Yeah, we're like,
well, we're not used to Jeff grabbing, just pulling a weapon out and then spilling everyone's food on the floor and being like, make a decision. Got to make one quick. All right, so my next one that's going to be on the fly, since I had only prepped 3. Mary is going to say the C word on national television.
Are they going to bleep it? Are they going to bleep
Yeah,
it?
they're going to bleep it, but she's going to say it.
Okay.
I don't even know that American television would even risk the
But
censor.
they allow it.
I don't.
That's
a
a fair point, Jonathan.
I think that if this was British television, they might not even censor it.
100%.
You know? But with American television, it feels more taboo.
Yeah. And I
think
also don't know in what way would she say it where it would make even sense if they
Yeah.
Well,
bleeped it.
she works it into a lot of sentences.
That's
but,
true.
But they would have to put like the C and then asterisk.
Yeah.
So they
I
probably
don't know
won't do it.
I'm not going to take. I'll challenge that
Let
one.
me
Yeah,
let
me
me
too.
change it a little bit. Mary will curse 5 more times before the season's over.
Oh, I'll take the over on that. It'll
Yeah,
probably
me too.
be closer to 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
you know what?
bump
I
it up
think she'll say
15.
the C word.
I'm down. I'll take it.
All right, Chase, what are yours?
All right. I feel like this one, I don't know. This is the one I'm the proudest of. The final 3 will be 2 original Logie and 1 original Siva.
Dang, that's like a very specific thing.
Yeah, so definitely
like-
take you on that.
Yeah,
so like
me
a
too.
Joe and an Eva and then a Chrissy or a Mitch.
I'm gonna take you on that.
Because Shauhin was original Logie. Joe, Eva, that pretty much that whole alliance
Yeah.
is
That's a
Loggy and
tough one,
Siva.
because
Yeah.
you feel like probability-wise, then it's very possible.
Well, we know it's not going to be Vula unless
Right.
it's Mary, because she's the only one left.
Wait, so you're predicting that Mary won't make the final? That's what you're doing.
It's just a bet. It's just a bet. I mean, I don't believe it.
I had
just
one
a
written
bet.
down that I wanted to happen. I forgot to mention it. It was that Camilla will be in the final 3.
Yeah, that's likely, I think. Here's a fun one. Mary is involved with fire making in some capacity, either choosing who makes fire or one of the people making fire.
Whoa.
Oh, Mary totally feels like a person who will get sent home from fire making. I don't
Yeah.
know why. That feels like a type of person, somebody you like a lot that you want to move on to the next round, and then it just doesn't
They get
work
screwed over by the wind.
I think you might be right on that, Chase.
Mm.
It does feel like a certain type of person.
which is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very weird to say, but if the pattern is there, then you're like, I don't know why it's there, but
It's
here we
there.
are. Yeah.
It's like, why
And
do I
then
keep
my-
feeling deflated after fire making? It happens pretty much
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Teeny and then Jake, right?
Yeah, and there was I'm not going to say it because you haven't seen the season, but there was an early New Era season where I will call him a New Era legend went home.
Whoa,
at
from fire making?
Yeah.
And then my last bet was we will get one Medivac or quit before the end of the
Okay,
season.
so you and Dark PD are on the same page?
I just
And-
don't
and-
see it happening, guys.
I think that more likely is the Medivac. I think
Yeah.
someone is going to get, hopefully not injured, but maybe sick. And it's one of those real heartbreaking moments where they're like, we gotta pull you from the game.
Well, I mean, if it happened for you and it was somebody getting sick on their stomach, then that means it happened for me too. So
Yeah, but Jonathan, you don't know what the status of everybody's ACL is. You can't say that
That's
you
true.
Very
that you
true.
know nobody will go home.
I'm sorry, I
If-
assumed.
If Cedric hadn't gone home, I could almost guarantee that he would have eventually gotten Medivac'd. It was just a matter of time.
I mean, it not happening on the wall is remarkable, and it's
How
a
many-
testament to Mitch.
Look,
How
with
many
Cedric-
walls can he do before he loses something?
Look,
man?
it would be the end of a challenge, and that the medical team would show up, and Cedric would be like, "What are they doing here?" And they're like, "Well, we're not really sure, but something's got to be wrong," and they just take him.
It's a Jeff called us here. That we know
Something's
something's off, and even if there's not, we're still taking you out.
Yeah, we're concerned just in general about this.
I think Kevin was the closest we got this season so far, but it could still happen.
Yeah,
it could still
he
happen.
stayed in. So is that the last of yours, Chase?
Yep, I only did 3.
Chase is out of his shot in the dark. So we have an email, right?
We do have an email. I'm gonna pull this up here. Sorry, I had.
Is this
it in
email
the
going to be
close
too
of
long for this sanctuary episode?
We'll see. Here's the thing: is that we were sent from one of the listeners, Oliver. He heard us talking about who would do the best on Survivor. Okay, so he started what he would predict as a story of what would happen if we were all on Survivor.
Oh boy.
Okay, I have not read this. I started it. Now, it is a work in progress, so I think it would be fun to read it and then come back to it as he gets further along. Okay? And I've talked with Oliver through email. This is fairly long, but not too long. Okay?
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, here we go. So, Making the Merge season story is what this is called. Kristen doesn't make the season. She leaves because they call and say Lizzie needs her. Jonathan stays. But everyone post-show said that they were relieved Kristen left because they think that she would have won the season. Bran was the alternate they chose to replace Kristen and brought him into the season. We will go through some highlights of the season now. Jeff announces that this is a dry season with no water challenges, so Jonathan will
Whoa.
compete.
Wow.
How convenient.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
this is
altered
great
the
for me.
whole season for Jonathan?
At the first immunity challenge, one tribe throws a challenge so obviously that Jeff stops the challenge, and the contestants say that they are doing this so they can get rid of Rome. Rome is also in here, by the way. Rome begins to crash out. They do a public execution, Brandon Hance style, and do a public vote. What a twist. And eliminate Rome with the game. Sorry,
That's
I just was not
hilarious.
expecting that,
I
guys.
wasn't either.
I don't think anyone saw it coming. A few episodes in, PD is the first podcast host to go home.
Oh.
Sorry, PD.
Come on,
Dang.
I'm gonna be just like my first overall pick, Aisha.
Wow.
That's
Wait, no.
man.
John Lovett was the first podcaster sent home.
So, by the way, I meant to say these are the contestants we're working with, guys. I'm sorry. We've got PD, Chase, Bran, Jonathan, Rome, Cedric, Andy, Banu, Saul, Q, Charlie, D, Mary, Liz, Kinsey, Genevieve, Star, and Maria.
Wow,
Whoa.
what a star-studded lineup!
Yeah.
You didn't have to read my name just then because I was voted out first.
You-
so
you
it's
were-
like
you
I don't
already
know,
out,
man.
man.
I'm out.
Yeah, so,
Wow,
but
that
this is
sucks,
why.
PD.
This is why
I know.
you were voted out. Okay, it says because PD went on a journey and lost his vote. Tried to keep it a secret from Cedric, but he found out, and the Carolina Reaper ended the dreams of title screen making the merge. Copyright symbol. I love that. That's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
dude. If Cedric and you were on the same season, he would take you out as quick as possible.
No, dude,
Yeah,
we would
yeah.
bond about the Swamp Rabbit Trail.
No, dude. The Carolina Reaper hates PD, dude. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that.
Well, then it says, though, that Andy attempts to team up with Jonathan to save PD. You're welcome, PD, in Operation Wright Bachman, but Andy flips last minute.
Classic Andy.
Classic Andy. On the other tribe with Chase and Bran, they are feuding with each other.
Oh,
That makes
But
sense.
Bran used his shot in the dark and took out Saul.
Nice.
Chase-
I mean, I love Saul, but
Chase
I'm glad
yells,
Bran is
Saul
still there.
Nation, rise up, as Saul grabs his torch in an emotional moment. Where Q said
Saul
you could,
Nation.
and Q then said you could cancel Christmas. Next week is the Mergatory episode, and Chase at Tribal pulls out a move out of Q's playbook and pretends to be sad about Saul leaving and says, vote me out as a decoy. But he accidentally acted too well, and everyone believes him, and they voted him out to be with Saul at Ponderosa.
Dang.
Nice.
At least I get to hang out with stupid, sexy Saul, baby.
Yeah. Bran in a confessional says he only 70% believed that he was faking it. But
Dude, that's so funny.
man.
but he's just happy he is, insert title screen, making the merge. Next episode, Jeff brings everyone in and says, surprise. They were doing a secret pre-merge Edge of Extinction the whole time.
Whoa.
And brings in everyone that was eliminated that chose to stay on Edge of Extinction. And they remain contestants. Watch as PD Chase Saul Banu and a million hearts tattoo. Wait, is it Banu with a million hearts tattoo on his chest and Rome. Liz didn't stay for Edge of Extinction. She was pissed. And Jeff announces that they heard them out and announces the challenges to come back is jousting. So, guys, jousting is in this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, we can make our way back in.
Yeah. So opponents are decided by rock draw. Chase gets to skip the first round. Rome
Nice.
will go against Saul. PD will face Banu. Saul and
No,
Rome,
I don't want to hurt Banu.
you gotta joust him now, bro.
No.
Saul and Rome line up. Saul staring down Rome. Everyone cheering for him to take out Rome. After one go around, Saul lands a good hit on Rome, but he manages to hold on. On the next bout, Saul lands another hit, but so did Rome on Saul's shoulder, both hanging on. Then, in the third and final go around, Rome manages to dodge and land a big hit on Saul, forcing him to fall, and the crowd goes silent as Rome showboats. Whoa. I was not expecting that. I thought he was going to do fan service.
Nope.
No. He went ahead and did it. So,
Wow.
by the way, PD, this is how it goes for you. Banu begs the horse to go as fast as it can to go as fast as it can as it goes down towards Banu. And it does go, and it goes so fast that he loses control, and PD's able to just tap Banu off. And he goes to his knees, looks up, and blames God.
I thought God was going to get involved, but in a different way. I thought he was going to say, like, Banu prayed that he would defeat PD, and he did.
PD, dude, you're going to get back in the game, man.
Yeah.
man.
Dude, but did I just kill Banu to do it? Was it worth it? Is it worth it to be back in? I don't know.
You just barely tapped him off. So it says the next rock draw between Rome and PD to face Chase. Rome pulls the white rock to face Chase. and the winner faces Petey in the finals. Chase stares down Rome and yells, "This is for Soul Nation."
Yes.
And then in the first bout, Chase knocks Rome clean off the horse, and everyone in the game cheers. And now
Heck
the
yeah,
finale
dude.
is Chase versus Petey.
Oh,
no.
Guys, this is really great.
I didn't want to hurt Banu. I'll hurt Chase.
Okay. I love that I happened to read this on an episode where we were all here.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Chase and Petey give a handshake in the middle as a sign of respect.
Of course.
Would that happen, guys? Would
Yes.
y'all actually?
Absolutely. Code of
Yeah,
honor.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before going off to their sides, after 3 rounds, both landing hits, the exhaustion of being at the edge of extinction starts to catch up with Petey. He sloppily goes down for one last bout.
Sloppily.
And is able to just dodge Chase's lance
No.
and connects it with Chase's, knocking
What?
him off. And Petey officially is making the merge. Whoa.
No.
Let's go. I
guys.
did it. It really
What?
feels like I accomplished something. So, thank you, Oliver.
Wait, who is the
Wow.
guy that wrote this? What's his
Oliver.
name?
Oliver. Yeah.
Oliver, I am 6'4", 200 pounds. I am a beast.
But that's exactly why I could dodge it. See,
Yeah,
you're
it would make good TV. Yeah, it'd make good TV.
because there's less of me. There's less of a target.
That's true. That's true.
Wow. Okay, guys. I'm gonna speed ramp this. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Petey is back in the game, and on the very next vote, Petey gets instant revenge on Cedric and puts the Carolina
Oh,
Reaper
yeah.
to rest with help from Flipping Andy, and the Wright Bachman alliance is once again
Whoa.
revived. You're welcome.
Wow.
With Bran on the outs, he goes in on an idol hunt, and he sees something in the distance and goes for it. And Star sees it after and starts to go, then stops after seeing Bran and said finders keepers. Then let Bran get the idol. Next challenge is the split challenge, and it's the get a grip challenge, and it comes down to D and PD on both sides. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. On both sides, both will be immune for their tribal council, but one wins reward, and their tribal decides the first juror. So we're kind of
Essentially what just happened.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
essentially what just
competing against D?
yeah. You're going. Well, you both have one immunity, but one of you is
Wow. So
winning.
we both won an immunity, and now we're having a grip off. Is that?
Yeah. That's the thing. That's for sure what you're having. Let's see here. Also, hold tight, guys. My child is crying, so I may have to wrap this
Hey,
and be like, let it
We
be-
can't hear
Come
it.
on.
So,
Yeah.
Well, no,
If you wanna
Kristen is
find-
saying she needs my help.
okay. Well,
we're like,
find,
let her. Come on, let her cry.
Just a second.
find
Yeah.
a stopping point, and then me and PD will
yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, the grip
okay.
part. I remember.
Yep. I'll end this challenge here. So we'll start back here. So Petey has slid down to the bottom rung while Dee is on the top using her big toes to stay in position. And Petey drops out of the challenge. The first tribal is Petey, Andy, Jonathan, Charlie, Maria, and Mary. Andy tries to bring Charlie and Maria together to go after the Wright Bachman alliance and get Jonathan with Petey immune. But Mother Mary convinces Charlie to go with the Wright Bachman alliance and take out Maria, so Charlie
go.
can get revenge for season 46.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Maria will not be a part of the jury to see the fire in her eyes for that decision. Next, Tribal, Bran, D, Q, Kinsey, Genevieve, and Star. So I'll stop there, guys. 'cause we've
Awesome! I
got a
can't wait
ways
to
go.
pick up.
This
I
is
can't wait to
unbelievable.
pick
so
up
we're
next time.
Hold, we have to wait another week to find out who wins fake Oliver Survivor?
It's
Yeah.
true.
I
It's
really
true.
want to know. Oliver, you've done an incredible job.
Super funny, dude.
Yeah, this is phenomenal.
If you're listening to this and you're like, I too want to send an unhinged, insane email to making the merge, then you can do it at, but tell them the email. I forgot, Jonathan.
makingthemergepod@gmail.com.
There we go.
Nice.
Making
Hey,
the merge
thank-
pod at gmail.com.
Thank
Unbelievable.
you guys so much for listening. I've got one last thing to say before we go.
All right. That's for you, Gayle.
We'll see you in space, Gale, and we'll
That's
see you
right.
guys for the main show this upcoming week. Happy Survivor Days, baby.
Yeah.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.